Did you know that social connections are vital for our survival? Without these connections, we are sadder, we are sicker, and it's one of the causes for early death as well. We are hardwired to depend on each other for support, whether in sickness or in health. Social isolation or loneliness can lead to many adverse effects on our body as well as our brain. Do you want to know more? Make sure you watch this video. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk all about human connection and its vitality to our survival. Social connections, whether it's between family members, friends, neighbors, or even strangers, have a crucial impact in our mental and physical development and well-being. Research has shown that having these strong social connections can actually protect our brain from age-related cognitive decline and also help in reducing the incidence of heart disease, stroke, and many other adverse health conditions. Now let's dig in. Let's talk about how do we measure loneliness or social isolation? Like, how do we know if somebody is feeling lonely? And to tell you the truth, there's no measure for that. But evidence suggests that about a lot of people, a big percentage of people who are 50 years and older, they do suffer from loneliness on an everyday basis. And after the pandemic, like COVID, the percentage has increased tremendously. And it's not saying that this social isolation did not exist in older adults before the pandemic. Conditions such as those situations where you live far from your family and friends, either you have the inability to drive or you don't know how to drive, and many other health risks that put you in isolation in your house could cause loneliness and social isolation even pre-pandemic. But just pandemic has made conditions even worse. Social isolation or loneliness has a negative impact on our brain. It increases the incidence of age-related cognitive decline, so therefore increasing the incidence of dementia. Some research even shows that the incidence of dementia might increase by about 50% in socially isolated individuals. It also shows that some studies were done that show that people who were socially isolated for longer periods of time, they had a very reduced rate of memory recall, their verbal fluency was affected, and their brain connections were affected as well. So they had a much higher rate of cognitive decline than somebody who is socially connected and is surrounded by friends and family. This study basically shows the importance of how it is to be interactive with our people who are around us, like our family, friends, and everybody else. There are many other adverse health effects that are associated with loneliness and social isolation. Loneliness is associated with an increase in the risk of premature death from all causes. And this is a rival. It is like the same, may rival those of smoking, obesity, and physical inactivity. It is also associated with increase in the risk of heart disease as well as stroke. It also causes or is associated with higher rates of depression, anxiety, and suicide. And loneliness in heart failure patients is known to increase the risk of death by about 4 times, and also increases their risk of emergency department visit as well as increased risk of hospitalizations. Now let's talk about simple things that we can do in our everyday life that can make a huge difference in developing new social connection and preserving the ones that we already have. Let's talk about the simplest thing, which is connecting with people that you already know. Sometimes what happens is that we're socially isolated or feeling lonely for a long time. We just assume that, their life is going fine without us. They don't need us. They don't need us to call them. But sometimes it just takes as like a little effort as just picking up your phone and calling them. And you will be surprised to see that your assumptions might be wrong. They might be feeling lonely as well, and your phone call maybe made a big difference in their day. And if to think of technology as a really good thing in these days, because you can actually FaceTime or WhatsApp video call anybody anywhere in the world. So if that's someone you know that you haven't connected with in a very long time, it could be a family member, a friend, you can connect them over a phone or actually do a face-to-face conversation with them. And that might brighten your day and there as well. Keep your friends closer. if you have friends that live nearby or even a bit far away, schedule a meetup with them. It could be just hanging out at your house or their house. It could be going out for a walk, meeting at a coffee place, having lunch, dinner. It could be very simple as just even FaceTiming them as well. So making these schedules and making an effort to schedule these kind of meetups can have a great impact in your social connection. And a lot of times people have drifted apart from their friends, and sometimes it's not that harmful or not that scary to make actually new ones. Maybe your neighbor or somebody that you met somewhere who has similar kind of mindset like yours could become a new friend for you. You can make new friends at any age. I used to think that, my friends, I moved to another country, my friends are all over the world, I can't see them. But once you open yourself and are willing to meet new people, and you will find people that are similar, not even similar, but like have the same outlook to life, and you will become friends. And before you know it, they might become closer than the other friends you already have. Another big valuable thing that helps with enhancing social connection is being part of a group. Whether it's a religious group, if you're part of a religious community, then it's nice to go out and take part in different activities that are carried out in centers. And in this way, not only do you meet people of the same background or same faith, it's easier to connect with them because you have some common similarity already, which might be the religion you believe in or the faith you believe in. And in that way, even if you're in a different country, in a different city, in a whole different part of the world, belonging to a religious center or community could open up these connections for you automatically. And it doesn't only have to be religion. A lot of times, if you belong to any kind of community, could be a social, could be a cultural community, the same principle goes, because you could either speak the same language. So going out and taking an active part in events or activities that are carried out in these community centers or religious centers is a really good way of making new social connections or maintaining them. And eventually you might make some really good friends there as well. Another really valuable thing or something that you could do is to join a gym. And I know there are so many places where you don't have access to gym, or maybe a walking group, or it could be anything. Joining a gym or fitness facility and taking part in classes, especially group classes, is also another way of not feeling lonely, because even though you don't know those people, you're getting out there, you're being a part of this group, you're exercising. Not only are you taking care of your health by moving your body, you're also taking care of your mind and your loneliness as well. And who knows, you might find this connection and become friends with one of the people that you work out with, and then you can set this schedule that you go to the same classes, and it kind of keeps you motivated to keep going and taking care of your health and building new social connections as well. And it could be just walking outside with your neighbor and making a plan to do that as well. A lot of times there are universities or colleges that offer online courses, or actually physical courses, I would suggest, that you could take even after you have retired or you've passed you've done all your education. There are simple educational courses that anybody can take. Sometimes they're offered on the weekends. Sometimes they're offered in the evenings if you can make it in the day. And a lot of these courses are educational, but there are also a lot of fun ones like art, history, I don't know, anything that you've ever been interested in. It's never too late to join a course. They're pretty relatively inexpensive. A lot of times they could be reimbursed as well. So like if that's something that you've always been wanting to do, and you have a desire to learn more and get more knowledge, then this is one of the things that you can try. And in that way, you're going out there, you're making new social connections, you're meeting completely new people with different age groups, and at the same time opening your brain connections as well by learning something new. At the end of the day, all that matters is that you yourself should have the desire to do that, to get out of this isolation, to get out of this loneliness, the same pattern that you've been kind of living in, and get out of your comfort zone and go outside and make new social connections, or go back and strengthen the ones you already had. And it could be as simple as a phone call, FaceTime, going out, trying something new. And once you do that, you'll realize that you'll feel happier, healthier, and you'll have a desire, a sense of purpose. Every single day you wake up and you know that you have something planned, something to do, somebody to meet, somebody to call. And this sense of purpose can keep you going and will get you out of this social isolation, will help your brain, will prevent you from getting an early incidence of dementia, will protect your heart and many other body organs as well, and will prevent the incidence of depression and anxiety. And you will feel that you are a healthier and a happier version of yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am so happy to share this, whatever I learned, whatever I researched, with all of you. And I hope that it makes a little bit of difference in your life. I hope it helps you live a better, healthier life. And it will help you and me age in a very healthy way. Make sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends. If you know somebody who will be interested in listening to this or getting informed on these topics, then please do share. Can't wait to see you guys next week.